Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to More Geek Than Gay. 50th episode. Gotta do things a little different this week. My hair is a mess. Just start the music already.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Tiny whiny stuff.
Okay, hold on, let me see if I, excuse me. Alright, we're going to do my own here. And let's see if this works out right. Okay, so, I apologize when you see, or if you have seen how I am when we're interviewing Gini, it's only because of the fact that I was so tired that I was very unresponsive on anything. And I basically just sat there, sat there. What was going on, I alluded to a few times, it was Gay Rodeo weekend here in Phoenix, and Joshua Tree had a table there. So Friday night I was at Exposed Gallery and Stacy's on Melrose, which is a bar here in Phoenix, for the homorodeo.com calendar model signing. Which some of it, the 50-50 raffle went for Joshua Tree. And then on Saturday morning, me as well as Malon helped put together the Gay Rodeo table for the Joshua Tree table at Gay Rodeo at 8 a.m. So then a full day of rodeo from basically 8 a.m. until 6, and then we went out. Edward, Gini, the Hubs, and I went out to a little gathering Saturday night. Then Sunday I had my dart meeting at 9 a.m. and then at noon, Paul, who is the vice president of the Dart League, and I went to the rodeo and stayed there until 6. We took apart the table. Paul came with me and he helped me unpack it and put it back back at Joshua Tree, and then I turned into the van. That's one of the things. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Friday afternoon I went and picked up the Joshua Tree van. So I'm driving a delivery van all weekend. So I only ran over the curb once. Well, just once, which is pretty good because, you know, I'm not used to driving big vans. So I apologize. Oh, and then Sunday after all this happened, we go and interview with Gini. So I apologize. It's not any disrespect to anybody. It's just I was tired. But with her schedule and Edward's schedule, that Sunday night was the only time to do it. So I hope you enjoyed, or will enjoy. I don't know where exactly Edward's going to put it in. Alright, so that was basically my week. The big news, I'll go ahead and tell it because Edward's at work right now, and I figure I'll just go ahead and tell it. The big news that came out today, which is Wednesday, February 19th, is our good friend Marsheila Rockwell, aka Marcy. I'll just write it. I'll just read what she wrote on her blog, okay? It is crossing the streams. Welcome to Crossing the Streams, a ginormous multi-author book giveaway. Marsheila Rockwell and Jeffrey Marriott, along with 20 other sci-fi, fiction, horror authors and artists, have thrown together to create something truly awesome for the readers. Here's how it's going to work. Each individual author is running a contest on his or her own site, and each contest will have its own rules. Excuse me. Each contest will have 2 winners who will both receive 1 signed book free from that particular author. So for instance, if you win on Art's site, you'll win one of his books. If you win on Erin's site, you'll win one of hers, etc., etc., etc. Second, and even more exciting, once the individual contests have ended, all the authors involved will get together and choose one single super winner from all of the entries of our sites combined. This one lucky individual will receive a signed book free from each and every one of the authors involved. That is 20-ish free books that are signed by the authors. So, you can only enter, here are the rules, you can only enter each author's contest once, but you may enter multiple contests. So you could enter on Marcy's, on Matt's, on Paul's, on everyone's site, on all 20 plus authors. If you want, and if you want, you are even, I'm trying to read this and try to read it in third person and speak it in third person. If you want, Jeff, and I really think, oh, okay, I messed that up. So, you could enter everyone's site if you want. That's what it was. Sorry, Marcy. Didn't mean to do that. So, let me go ahead and just give you a complete list of the authors involved. We have Richard Lee Byers, Eric Scott DeBee. I'm going to say names wrong. I'm so sorry. Sarana D. Wild, Betsy Dornbush, Darren Drader, Aaron M. Evans, Gabrielle Faust, Matt Forbeck, Dave Gross, Aaron N. Hoffman, Howard Andrew Jones, Paul S. Kemp, Scott Lynch, Ari Marmel, Joshua Palmatier, Jeff Salyards, James L. Sutter, Wendy N. Wagner, Marsheila Rockwell, and Jeffrey J. Marriott. So, really, go check it out. It's on Facebook. It's in Twitterverse. It's on the interwebs. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna enter it as many as I can. Actually, I'm gonna start entering right now when I get done. Let's see, what else? That's all I got. Realistically, I've been watching the Olympics. We do have a sponsor. I am pleased to announce that I got final approval. We have our first sponsor for More Geek Than Gay. It is actually Compete Sports Diversity Magazine, which is who I work for. They are going to spread the word out. So thank you guys at Compete for being our first sponsor. And I will talk to you guys later, alright? Let's see how this goes. Alright, take care.
I hit play.
I know. I figured on that.
Oh, okay.
But I have nothing to say.
You have nothing to say.
Well, most of the time I just say welcome to More Geek Than Gay, but we've already done that.
Well, I haven't done that.
You never do it.
Welcome to More Geek Than Gay. This is Joseph, and I'm Edward.
Are we doing this in front of the other ones that I say it?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. I haven't figured that part out yet. But this is our 50th episode. Yay!
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 Wow, the excitement level, it's palpable.
Yeah, I know.
And I've got really nothing to say about my week, because my week has been basically work.
basically.
Well, oh, I take that back. I take that back. I also went to a handy-dandy book sale this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. On Saturday.
Yes! I went to the book sale! Yay! And
What book sale?
the VNSA book sale, which is, if not the largest one in the Southwest, used book sale in the Southwest, it is one of the largest book sales in the Southwest. And
I think it is the largest one in the Southwest. One of the largest ones in the country, but the largest one in the Southwest. I think that's what they tout.
I think so too. And I actually even filmed a little there. And bop!
And there he goes.
Yeah, I know.
What happened?
I'm gonna.
Howdy, hey. This is Edward. I'm at that book sale, and I tried to find a neutral corner where it doesn't look like I'm just insane talking to my phone, but that's not happening, because look around. Look around, look around, look around. People everywhere, and they all think I'm crazy right now. But this is one of the largest used book sales in the Southwest, and people come here every year. It's the weekend closest to Valentine's Day when it happens. So, yay! I'm in heaven. This is like one of the only events that you can get me to stand in line for. You can ask Joseph. I actually stood in line for virtually an hour to be here. And virtually an hour? That's not even correct. Almost an hour. And so, yeah. Back to buying books. Am I recording? I'm recording. Okay. Hey. Well, made it out of there alive without killing anyone, because throngs of people, you just want to kill them. And also made it out of there relatively unscathed, even financially. Big bag of books, like one of those tote bag type book bag things, like what you go shopping with. Those big ones, but the cheap ones, which are oddly bigger than the more expensive ones. Like a big bag that size, $40 even. Yeah. Got a movie, got some games, got a couple CDs, so, and some books, of course, books. So, woo! Now it's time to get, because there was air conditioning in there, don't get me wrong, but wow, nowhere near enough, especially since today is a little bit warmer of a day in Phoenix. So, now it's time to go get food or something. Yeah. But yeah, that was our yearly book sale. Or that's me talking about our yearly book sale. Yeah, bye.
It's going to be one of those episodes where we're editing. So see, we do edit.
We do edit.
Yes, last week you said you did not, but yes, we do edit. Caught you in a lie already.
Well, this not. I didn't say we didn't edit. I said it's more like merging. That's basically what we do.
And that's what editing is.
Crap. Although there is little trims here and there that have to happen.
That's editing.
That's editing. Like there's a little second here, a little second there, a little second here and there. But, and, what?
Why are you so close to me?
Well, because we're on Zoom. If I'm all the way over here, no one sees me.
Okay.
Why are you making such a weird face?
Because it's weird that you're so close to me. We don't even sleep next to each other. If you look at our bed, there is a bump right here. This is my side, this is Edward's side. We need to have a third person. We need to get Karen back so that way we could even out the bed.
There was a huge pillow here, and also now there's that kitten that likes to just sleep right in between us. She comes in the middle of the night when she decides that she's all awake and purr, 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 I'm on your face, purr, 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 I'm on your face, and I will sit right between you guys and suckle on the sheets.
I know that's weird.
Because
I've seen many a cats do the biscuit thing, but she does the biscuit and she suckles.
Admittedly, we were raising her from like
3 weeks old.
Yeah. So she possibly did not get as much suckling in as what she normally would have. So maybe that's what it is?
She's regressed suckling?
I guess. I don't know. But, and not only did I do the book sale this weekend, but...
Okay, so we're getting rid of the one that I did.
We're not getting rid of the one.
Yes, we are.
Why? Why are we?
Because I talked about the rodeo already.
Oh, well, you talked about the rodeo. Oh, okay. Well, then I won't talk about the rodeo.
Well, we could talk about the rodeo. We'll just get rid of the one I did.
Why would we get rid of the one you did?
Because I didn't care for it.
Oh, you did fine.
No, I didn't. You didn't even listen to it.
Oh, it looked good.
It looked, but it was horrible. So if he plays it, I'm sorry. Especially to Marcy. Oh, I ruined your blog big time.
Oh, so we're not announcing Marcy?
We are. Well, I announced it in my thing.
Oh, Marcy's part of a contest thing.
Yeah, but I announced it in mine.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to keep it, then we're going to keep it, and I'm going to apologize already.
Oh.
But yes, I had rodeo. You attacked a bougainvillea.
I attacked a bougainvillea. It attacked me back.
Yeah, because I don't know how you did it with little hand clippers.
I didn't do it with little hand clippers. We had an electric saw thing, but it's not like a... I found out later where the chainsaw is, the small chainsaw we have is. This was a saw thing that went zzz, like you were carving a turkey. But that doesn't work well with sticks that go...
So we have an electric trimmer?
Yes.
Where is it? Because I need to get the other two bushes.
It's the big long case that's in the front.
Okay.
On the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. But...
Because so that way I'll attack the actual other bushes. That's good for that. You needed the chainsaw for the bougainvillea.
I did, because actually we still really should trim it down even further. We probably should trim the bougainvillea down to the base. Hey, it's gardening talk on More Geek Than Gay. But we also, and speaking of the bougainvillea talk, it came up when we did, ta-da, we have our first exclusive interview.
Well, I wouldn't say exclusive. Gini talks to anybody.
Oh, that's true. She gets around.
So you can't say exclusive. Love you, honey, but it's true. You know how to pimp yourself out before we even showed up. We just do extra pimping on you.
Okay, it's our first interview.
Ever.
Without sharing with other people. Because we've seen her like talking at like
panels and stuff.
Yeah. And I think we even filmed a little bit of that.
We filmed many panels of her.
But this is just her and us. Back and forth, or side and side, or... Because we weren't really back and forth, we were sideways.
Yeah.
We sat on all the same side of a table.
Yes, exactly, yeah. We weren't on the Matterhorn, we were not in front and back of each other.
Right. Right. And... Or on like that weird ship thing where you're facing each other. If you're in the center...
Oh, the
Viking ship?
Or pirate ship or whatever.
Or whatever, yeah. Yeah, we weren't on that either. But we got a Muko Bucho, I don't know where I was going with that, interview with Gini Koch, which we have even decided to split into two parts because...
What's this sweet stuff? You decided it.
I have a mouse in my pocket.
Well, no wonder somebody's getting something.
What the hell? Okay, so part one of the interview now.
He likes pancakes, just good.
Does he? Mm-hmm. Are we on?
Oh yeah, we're on.
Oh, okay. Welcome to More Geek Than Gay. I am Joseph.
I'm Edward. I'm getting into this.
And we're starting to sit down. And we have a special guest, Miss Gini Koch.
Hello.
World famous sci-fi author.
Exactly. And
make way.
Yeah. Make way. I'll hurt you.
And
So I bet we can see our cider bottles. Joseph was telling me we should flash the labels, but they don't pay me any money to promote them. So
But the-
it's really
the-
good cider though.
But the goal is that, hey, look at this.
Hey, Angry Orchard.
We drink your stuff.
Angry
Please
Orchard.
do.
Cinnamon. The cinnamon Angry Orchard is like the best thing ever, and they don't make enough of them.
Or not Edelweiss.
Elderberry.
Elderflower.
Elderflower is good too, but cinnamon's better. Oh no, cinnamon's better. Cinnamon's way better.
That's really good.
Cinnamon's
So
way
Angry
better.
Orchard, hey, we are looking for sponsors. Just pay for our podcast and just ship us a 6-pack
I'll put you in the
podcast
books.
and we'll
I think I've got more power. Put you in the books.
So, hi.
Hello.
How have you been?
Awesome since the 5 minutes since I saw you last. We just saw each other all weekend, so it's sort of like, hey, I haven't seen you in at least an hour. So
I know.
Well, I would like.
played the
I
camera.
have a question.
Yeah.
How was Coastal Magic?
it was awesome. Awesome con. Had such a good time. It was really fun. Got to hang with some really cool people. Got to do Thursday night with Shannon Butcher. Sweetheart. She's so nice. I had paddled with her before at Tucson a couple years ago, but it was really nice to see her again. She's awesome. James Ray Tuck, made of awesome. He is the coolest guy around. And got to hang out with Janice Hardy, who has been a friend of mine since before we were both published. She writes middle grade. Got to hang out with the ever awesome Linnea Sinclair, you know, the queen of science fiction romance.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Had some fan friends come down, Michelle, Joe and Bill, and Lisa and Joe. And yeah, keep all that straight. We dominated in laser tag, I just have to also mention. Also met Amy Lane and TC Blue, who are also totally fun and cool, and got Damon Swade did all the emceeing on Cinema Craptastique, which was like bad movie night shared with Twitter, so that was really fun.
Oh, see, I would have
Yeah.
been good at bad movies.
Oh, you'd have been
I
excellent.
love
You'd have been
bad
excellent.
movies.
We watched Red Riding Hood from 2011, and it was just heinous.
Is
really
it the
bad.
one with
Yes,
what's her
Amanda
face
Seyfried.
from?
Yeah, Amanda Seyfried.
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking it's the other one that has the girl Felicia Day.
No,
She did her Red
no.
Riding Hood
Did
take
she?
also.
Did she?
Yeah.
Hers could probably be better because this one was awful.
I don't know. I think hers was produced by Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, okay. Well, then hers is probably intentionally campy. This one was deeply serious and really bad. And there's a lot of, as Damon was saying, Academy Award winner, Academy Award nominee, Academy Award winner, nominee. And you're like, why are these people in this movie? It was so painful. But let me also mention, you'll hear it here first, presumably. I am doing a Coastal Magic giveaway. So keep the eyes peeled. Lots of books. Only 2 winners, 1 international, 1 U.S. Tons of books. So
Nice.
yeah. So all signed.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, very
Is
good.
there something that people can do to?
They should be
in
on
there?
Hook Me Up, which is my subscribers list, and you go to my website, watch how slowly I'll talk now, www.ginikoch.com, and at the bottom of most pages of my website, you find out how to subscribe to Hook Me Up. It's free. You get all the news first, access to exclusive contests like this one, and more! Now how much would you pay? But wait, there's more.
There's more. That's that more.
Yeah,
You already
that's-
said the
that's
more.
Yes, that's the more,
it.
okay.
Yeah, you
There's
kind
more.
of
Yeah.
threw it. I thought you did marketing. You know,
Yeah.
you should know to like.
Yeah, for the Smell-O-Rama version, I have 3 dogs, Canine Death Squad. They're really
I was
referred,
really trying to ignore it.
they're referred to Death Squad more for their farting than anything else. And they're really excited to have Joseph and Edward here and be taped. And I don't know if His Highness is like trying to get in on the picture over there. I don't know if the camera's going to get him, but he'll be by, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, not it.
But yeah, no, the dogs are sharing their excitement by releasing gas, and the fact that we're not all crying here.
It's surprising, yeah.
Was I making a visible face?
No, dude,
Because I was
it's like
sitting here
when they
going,
let go. Well, you know Tina Williams, when we do our Wicked Women Who Write cupcake nights, Sharon Skinner and I make sure Tina's always trapped there.
oh.
The dogs love to, they just come by and let it loose on Tina, and then she's trying to escape, and Sharon and I just find that really funny. And so
Poor Tina.
Wicked is the first word in our group.
See, I thought it was wicked because of the cupcakes.
That too.
Okay,
that
so
too.
that's the
Also
cupcake.
being- yeah.
That's the
That's the
cupcake.
cupcake event.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the cupcake event, yes. From the really fantastic cupcake place that is
That's
right by you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are their names?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
They're
and I
just
feel
right
so
there.
guilty.
They're right next to
Cupcake
Lucy's.
by Design.
They're-
Cupcakes by Design, you're right. Cupcakes by
Yes.
Design, they are fantastic. They are, I think, the best cupcakes in Phoenix. Ooh, he said that in stereo. Nice.
I know, see, yeah.
Okay, now see, I'm going to play the slightly opposite of how we've just been doing it. Because there are some people
I
who
don't
have
even
heard
do that.
us mention you,
Oh, okay.
but they probably still don't. They're like, who the hell is this Gini Koch person?
Oh, that's a good point.
So who the hell is this Gini Koch person?
Well, before I tell it, should we make sure that sound's picking up?
Oh, the sound's picking up.
Oh, it's actually really good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really
He's just like, oh no, the sound's picking up because we'll just dub you in. If it's not, don't
No,
worry.
no, no, no,
It'll
no,
be
no,
much more interesting.
Trust me, there are recording devices in other houses that are picking you up right now. Okay.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Was that my
No,
elbow in your temple? I'm so
The
terrible.
camera is actually really. The camera is actually better than the equipment that we bought at Fry's Electronics.
Yeah, that's a company we've switched over to
Go.
being even cheaper of the cheapest.
Fujifilm or whatever. What is that camera?
It's a
I think
digital
Fuji.
Fujifilm camera.
Ah, well, yay, Fujifilm.
I know.
So, yeah,
It's kind of funny because we spent like hundreds of dollars on equipment, and this is better than that.
But
Still
you
would
can
like
carry
to-
the hundreds of dollars equipment around and look really impressive elsewhere.
Still would like to get a nice mic setup going, but then I have to try to figure out how to get the mic setup to go with the camera.
And I have to mention that my husband is here refusing to be on camera, but he is watching Thor.
Is that Thor?
That's Thor.
The second one?
With the sound off. No, just the first one, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fighting ice giants.
Yeah, that's the
The,
first one.
the,
Yeah.
husband, the husband
Yeah.
that dare not mention its
The husband that
existence.
said he doesn't want to be on camera because
The hubs.
the hubs.
That's okay.
So
we
anyway,
have the
so what-
roommate that dare not mention
That's-
his name,
that's
and he
true.
doesn't want to be on camera.
That's true.
So,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah. So anyway, I write. Don't worry, I remember.
Okay.
I figured you did.
I write.
You're not that drunk yet.
I have to be really drunk to forget what I do. And a couple of ciders is not going to
yeah,
cut it.
and it takes a lot.
It takes a lot more
Yeah.
than a lot more than a cider is. Sorry, Angry Orchard. Hardcore or not going to do it.
Like about
So-
day 3 of a con, then maybe.
Well, no, that's because
That's
we're just tired.
exhaustion.
That's
just
exhaustion. That's
yeah. So I write the Alien Catherine Kitty Cat series for dog books. The first book is Touched by an Alien. The most current released book 8 is Alien Research, which is out right now. And Alien Collective comes out in May because I did manage to get that book turned in on time. And there was much rejoicing.
Bravo.
Yes, thank you.
You know, like 54 deadlines.
God, don't even, no, I think everyone at Dawn Penguin is twitching still from how late I was. I also write as GJ Koch. I write as Anita Ensald, Gemma Chase, A.E. Stanton, and J.C. Koch. I also write under a variety of other pen names. These are the ones I'm published in right now. It's a controlled form of schizophrenia, and I make it work for me, okay?
I was going to say, each one of the voices in your head has a different name, and they all write.
They do. They're very excited about it.
And they're very distinctive.
They are very
Yeah.
distinct. That's why I have pen names, because they sound distinctly different. So as GJ Koch, I write the Alexander Outland series. I write a variety of short serials for Musa Publishing. As Anita, Ginny, and Gemma. No, Gemma's standalones. Sorry. A.E. Stanton. Don't worry, I remember. And then I also write the Necropolis Enforcement File series as Gini Koch. So there's more, but I'm an author, basically.
So what do you, I've always wondered this, because I've never quite figured out all your different names. Which name is it that you use for your erotica?
I don't write erotica. No. See, the reason he's asking this and looks so deeply confused is that every year at
Because
Phoenix
that's the
Comic-Con-
name of your panel,
Yes, every
so
year at Phoenix
I use
Comic-Con.
the wording of your panel.
No, I don't write erotica. Erotica is very specific in what it is. And sorry, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm not doing erotic. Little Eater is down here demanding some love.
Or else he'll fart. She'll fart.
She'll fart. She'll fart for you calling her a boy now. See what he's
They'll fart for any reason.
They will,
Yeah.
but that's a good one, so they'll take it.
Yeah.
No, the Catherine Kitty Cat series has steamy sex. I have various levels of romance in most of what I write, not all, but most. I'm actually a science fiction author who also writes fantasy, horror, mysteries, and other stuff, but most of my stuff has comedies. Yeah, most of my stuff has humor. Everything. Most of my stuff has humor, and almost all of it has romance of some kind and some level in it. But why Edward's asking about my erotica that I don't write is because that at Phoenix Comic Con and now at Dark Con, I do an evening erotica panel, normally with Jordan Summers. At DarkCon, it was with Tina Williams. And at this upcoming Phoenix Comic Con, it's going to be me, Jordan, and Tina.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's kind of confirmed?
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, so it should be awesome. Should be
Moderated
very
by
fun.
Edward.
Yes. And
Is
it's
that confirmed?
It will be. Who else can handle me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, come on. No one else. They're afraid of it. Yeah. Now, see, a little leader moved. So anyway, we do the panel because I do write sexy stuff, but I don't actually write erotica. I can tell you what erotica is, however, because I've heard Jordan describe it enough. And erotica is basically the point. Well, I'll give you my little visual. This is a circle, and on this circle, from about here to here, you have sweet, which is what, a look across the room, and maybe after we're married, a chaste kiss, all the way up to right about here, which is the hot, steamy sex that is in the Alien series. Then this section is erotica, and after all of this is porn, from either mild porn all the way down to the real whack-it-out fetish stuff. That there's nothing wrong with that.
And
anyway,
Mickey, ask your mother to explain all this to you.
yes, yeah. For the youngsters at home, look, Kung Fu Panda. So in this section right here is erotica, and I don't write that. I write up to here, and then I flip over to porn, which is why I don't write it. I don't do erotica. Erotica requires certain things. There's a difference in language. When Kitty is describing sex, she is not talking about the body parts. She doesn't say the word penis, for example, and you would be using the real words and other slang like that in erotica. Also, the journey is different.
Like self-discovery years.
Yeah, you're supposed to. You're not required to have a happy ending. Romance requires a happily ever after. Science fiction requires a conclusion to your scientific discovery. But in erotica, you don't have to have a happy ending. The goal is that the characters, they can, okay, but that the character will have grown. Oh, hush. Will have grown. She doesn't like erotica. She's against it. She wants happy doggy play and everybody to throw the toy.
That would be Jordan.
And pet.
Yes.
Jordan does the happy doggy play.
I don't think it's right for you to talk about what Jordan and her husband do in their bedroom. Anyway, going on. Moving on. Don't speak. Don't speak. So anyway, so that's erotica, where you're going through some part, you're discovering yourself, or you're discovering things about each other as a couple through sex. You make discoveries about yourself or discoveries about yourself through sex. So the sex is vitally important to the storyline. Versus, honestly, in mine, because romance is a secondary genre. In them, you could probably pull, and most of them, you could pull the romantic elements out, and the story still stands as science fiction or paranormal. But in erotica, without the sex, you don't have a story. So anyway, so I don't write it, but we have a rollicking good time when we do it. There are always prizes, and we play the euphemism game. And Edward knows what I planned for this year. We're not telling you because you were so pissy last year when I changed it the last minute.
When you changed the roles.
Well, because the euphemism game, as you can imagine, is about coming up with clever euphemisms. And I'm not going to give you the whole panel here, though we could. But we're not going to.
Purple pansy.
The purple velvet love lance or something like that.
The one that you guys always bring up every
Jordan remembers that one better than me.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so it's a purple passion love lance or something like that.
Yeah, they don't do that.
That's
And I just have to ask real quick because it's just popped in my head. Who was that sweet lady who did the erotica with you that one year?
The first year, fantastic, wonderful author Jennifer Ashley, who writes erotica. Jennifer writes erotica.
She actually thought we were going to talk about erotica.
I know, it was so cute, wasn't it? Yeah, and she was really, it was really cute because she writes erotica, some fantastic erotica. She was a great author. She writes, it's Ashley Gardner, Ashley James, and Jennifer Ashley. And she's a fantastic author. She's a neat person. I'm very lucky I get to call her a friend. But when we started this, the audience, the first time we did it, audience members were like pushing us for the euphemism game before we knew we were ever going to play it. And Jordan and I were game, and Jennifer's just like, no, my husband's right here. We're like, girl, he reads your stuff. He knows who you are practicing on. He does not have a problem. He's like, go for it. right? But she wouldn't. So it was really cute because we made Jennifer Ashley blush a lot.
Yes.
That first panel, and she's always been too busy to do that ever since. So.
Oh,
Conveniently.
Convenient.
Especially when it takes place on a Friday night at 9
9
p.m.
o'clock. Yeah, because we're going. Well, now it works out because then everybody takes bets on how fast I go blue. Usually under 3 minutes, but you never know.
have we tried like actually contacting her for her schedule and then planning it into her schedule?
No, she appreciates that we don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, she's really busy with like 1 million series and 5 million books a year, and they're all great. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
If I didn't love her, I'd hate her because
she was also on that writing panel with you. That was
she's awesome. She's really good and really knows a lot about the business. If you ever get a chance to see Jennifer Ashley live, you want to take advantage of it. And I got to be on a panel with her at San Diego State University Writers Conference too.
Really?
Yes. We're talking about being hybrid authors, where both traditional and indie pub. So yeah, so it's a very fun panel.
Wow. So, okay, writing is a hard business to break into in a certain way.
Yes.
In a nutshell.
That's cute.
Because you're very nutty.
I just have to hurt him. Somewhere in
What
the
is
elbow will connect.
This is how come.
But he doesn't like
people
that stuff. He's very vanilla. He doesn't do that.
What, my hitting me upside the head? He's going to get hit upside the head. Yeah, I'm not saying he would like it. The point would not be for him to enjoy it. You go on.
What is it that you think set you apart to the level of success that you have now as compared to others who you maybe haven't read and thought they're talented, but they're not going to make it?
I don't think you can actually predict that. So the second half, let me answer the second half of that question first. You honestly do not know what's going to hit. I guarantee that every year books go out, and a lot of times the publishers know, I mean, point blank, but a lot of times a book will go out and they think it's going to be huge, and it just does. The chick who wrote The Time Traveler's Wife, her second book, I don't remember her name, and I don't remember the title, but her second book, she made a bajillion-dollar advance, and I think it broke records for returns. People would buy it and would return it outraged to the bookstores because they thought it was that bad. So I think that's a fall you cannot predict. I don't know whether they just raced out something that was bad. I don't know whether she just thought this is the best book I've ever written and everybody threw up all over it. I don't know her. But those things happen. So you really can't. And then there's other books that, I mean, I know the publishers expected Twilight to be a big book. I do not think the publishers expected Twilight to be the phenomenon it became. So, you know, you never know. 50 Shades of Grey, you don't know why stuff like that crap catches on. It just does. You don't know how you're going to hit the zeitgeist. So I don't read people's stuff saying, oh, you're never going to make it, because that's a great expectations thing, and none of us really need to be pipped. And just because I don't like something does not mean it isn't going to be hugely successful. Or just conversely, because I love something doesn't mean it's going to be hugely successful.
Yeah, that's more what I was talking about, is the people that you know, but like maybe you just know that personality-wise, they're just not going to do it.
There's no, I am possibly the most outgoing author you're ever going to meet. Most authors are not like this. Most authors don't want you in their home. Let alone, yeah. This is my home. Look,
booze.
My stuff, booze. Yeah. Nope. What keeps me writing? Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those bottles wrote books.
We'll show them the penis bottle later because that helped write a book or two. Well, I guess we'll show them
the people who are listening to the audio podcast are going to miss this.
Don't mind the dust. This is Asombroso, which is an agave tequila. Note the bottle. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this is a tequila marketed to women, and it's aged in Burgundy casks, and it has kind of a sweet flavor for tequila. I love this stuff. I also have a T-shirt that they gave me when I bought my first bottle of this. Note this bottle. It's supposed to be a genie in the bottle, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but I think we all know what they're going for here. Anyway, this is the book that ensured that Alien in the House got written. So
I have this stuff at home too.
yeah, because it's good. Well,
It is.
women and gay men. It's appealing. It has its appeal. The extra dusting. I don't dust much. I can dust or I can write.
That's
and,
okay.
you know. So anyway, but for the why do I think I got to stand out? Well, number one, I got picked up by DAW, which is fantastic publisher, the best publisher, excuse me, in the world, I think, Spokane, with absolutely no bias whatsoever. But I think it's humor. I'm funny. Science fiction is not normally funny. I also have a lot of action. I have a lot going on in all my books, but I think it's reasonably easy to follow. There's basically a reviewer described it as, there's disparate plot threads are flipping around and you think where the heck is this going until they all weave together and you go, oh my God, that's where that's all going. So that's just how my brain works. So, but I never intended to be a science fiction writer, nor did I intend to write funny, even though I am funny, and it just, about 85% of what I write comes out science fiction, whether I want it to or not. And, or it's in a variety of, in fantasy, but there's less fantasy, and in paranormal, there's more paranormal than fantasy, honestly, but yeah, so everything, I tend to write science fiction even though I don't intend for the story to become science fiction, and I tend to write funny even though I didn't mean to, but that's why I have a career, so I'm good with it.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. So what was it that you intended to start out as a writer?
The first things I've ever written were novels set in the Old West that my agent is actually shopping.
Really? I thought you said that those were buried
the first
in the
one. No, the
Oh,
first
okay.
version.
The first version, yeah.
That you had orders for people to
I
burn
do.
it.
Oh, the first version of that. Yeah, I learned to write on that series. Yeah, no, there's stuff. When I named this book, this series, I would like software versions. So my agent is shopping version 9.2.2.
Okay.
Okay, and about version 6 or 7, I was asking myself, maybe, even though I love the characters, maybe this is was the supposed to get you writing story, and it's never going to go anywhere. It doesn't deserve to go anywhere else. So I dug through where I had the first version hidden, and oh my God, I had to sit on my hands. That's the dog in here.
She just turned her head. I think I poked her in the eye.
Aww.
But she don't care.
She said, as long as you pet me, I don't care.
Oh, I felt bad.
Good, she's keep petting her. She's going to milk that.
Yeah, milk the guilt.
That's right. So anyway, I had to sit on my hands because version 1 is so bad. But I could see writing talent. It was interesting. I could see writing talent. I definitely even then knew how to keep you turning the pages, how to make you turn a page, and I wasn't as good at cliffhanger chapter endings as I am now, but it was there and all this other stuff. So that was great. And then, and I realized that the characters I was worried about, I had changed them. No one could recognize it. If I don't tell you where it comes from, you would never know. There's no correlation other than some names.
Yes, I'm the lap now.
And the characters that, that I really love that I created. So 9.2.2 is what's being shot. But novels set in the Old West are a really hard sell. And I'm very thankful
There's
that
not many Zane Greys around right now.
No, there aren't. I'd like to be one, but see, Zane Grey wrote Westerns. I'm more Larry McMurtry.
Okay.
Okay, than I am Zane Grey on that side of the house. But
more Lonesome Dove.
Yes, than or Louis L'Amour. I'm much Zane Grey and Louis L'Amour wrote westerns. The reason I'm saying novels set in the Old West is that it's not the same. In a western, there are certain expectations of things that are going to happen, and they don't necessarily happen in my book. It's a novel. We're going through a novel series of following characters and their character growth, not Russell the cattle, save the girl. That kind of thing.
More Big Valley than Bonanza.
It's been too long since I've seen them. And by the way, I'm not belittling westerns. I have some really good. Larry Swayze is a really good friend of mine, and he writes fantastic westerns. There's nothing wrong with westerns. I just don't write them. Yeah. Just like romance has a formula, westerns have a formula. I don't follow that formula really well. I try, and I'm not good at it. Okay, so I can't do that. So I'm not like Louis L'Amour. I'm not like Zane Grey. I'm more like Larry McMurtry, who was telling you a novel about some characters and what happened to them. These characters happened to live in the Old West. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You could take those characters and put them somewhere else and they would still do their thing. They'd just be doing it differently. Versus a Western, your characters need to be in the Old West to have their story work properly.
And have a purpose.
Yeah. So, and it's all in what you like. But anyway, that's a really hard sell. So one of the things I'm really glad I never paid attention to was the adage that you have to finish what you start. I wouldn't have a career. I think there's only really one rule in writing, and that's that money flows to the author, don't pay to play. And, you know, $25 to set up a book and create space is not the same thing as $15,000 for us to publish your book. You don't pay. Okay, they pay you, you don't pay them. As the great Ben Bova told me when I was talking with him, this is many years ago, but I was talking to him and I asked him about that. He's like, young lady, they pay you. You do not pay them. So I took that to heart, and that's how it works. The only other rule is that grammar, spelling, punctuation, syntax, and word usage really matter, especially to agents and editors. Everything else that you hear people telling you is just a guideline. It's a suggestion. This is what works for me, so I'm saying it has to work for you, and that's just not true. So fortunately I ignored most of the adages about what was supposed to work. When I was writing, most of what I write, certainly everything I write is, I shouldn't say everything, most of the things I write as Gini Koch and G.J. Koch are written in first person. And when I was writing Touched by an Alien, the adage was that nobody bought first person anymore, nobody wanted it. Let's all try not to laugh hysterically while we think of all the many series that you love right now that are publishing that are all in first person.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing with present tense. I find present tense uncomfortable. I will write some things in it, but not very much. But, you know, present tense, no one's going to buy it, no one's going to read it. Again, right. So every rule is just a guideline, and ignore anything that it doesn't work for you.
Exactly.
I don't outline. Yeah.
No, you're not an outliner.
No, in fact, if I'd stopped trying to outline, I would have started writing 20 years earlier, but I'm not bitter much.
I read actually something one time in a writing thing that I forget what it was, but they said something actually I thought was brilliant about outlines.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that most people do outlines wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They said it's best to actually write and then outline what you wrote, because when you've outlined what you've already written, a lot of times you can find structure problems. And then you can go back and fix it. So they say to do it backward. Well, they say do it the other way.
If that works for you, bitchin'. What I say after you've written what I call an outline is a synopsis that you need to sell your book. Okay? My viewpoint is anything that makes you do what I would call busy work is not something that's good for me. I can tell when there's a structure problem now because I've written enough words. The biggest thing that everybody's trying to do is find that shortcut so they don't have to write their hundreds of thousands to millions of words before they're good. There is no shortcut. You have to write hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of words before you get good. Period. And they can't be the same words over and over again. You know, the all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah. Those words don't count. You have to be rewriting the same book over and over again in the same way is not going to cut it for you. You have to, and all those versions, those stories are different. There are changes, some of them massive, between those versions that I learned to write on. And I wrote other things while I was doing that as well. So you really have to, you really have to not focus on things that are busy. Frankly, reading a few good books, you'll learn structure much better than necessarily going back through it. Now again, if that works for you, awesome, do it. But to me, that would be an unbelievable waste of my time, and would have been a waste of my time even when I was learning.
As compared to, like, for Marcy,
Marcy outlines. Marcy outlines. Well, Marcy actually learned to outline. She started out as a linear writer. We're talking about Marsheila Rockwell right now.
Who, by the way, for Marcy right now, I'm going to reveal something that came up at DarkCon, and that Marcy was very happy to just gleefully look at you. Gini outlines.
Short stories in my head. I don't think that counts.
It did for her. You've always stated that you don't outline, you don't outline, and she was so... remember the glee that she had?
Yeah. In my head for a short story, this doesn't count.
Was this the panel she was a half hour late to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
this
she
is
was
the-
just standing glee at that point for being a half an hour late. So
She was
I don't think that's
bitching
a
for
win.
anything.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
think that's a
this
win.
is. I just did it for her.
Outlining in
She's
my
not
head, and it's a short
She's
story.
not here,
I
so
don't
I'm
know.
just giving her-
I
yeah.
don't think so. And yeah, no, I don't think that counts. I'm not
Okay.
trying to wink at you. I just got dirt in my eye.
Okay.
It's like,
Aw.
it made me cry.
So does this mean that there's a chance that Joseph's going to have to start going to Western conventions?
God, I hope so.
I was just at rodeo this weekend.
And
You got a hat.
Yeah. Did you bring the hat? You didn't bring the hat?
I got a hat.
Well, you have a hat. He's
I have
got
a couple hats.
Not,
No,
not
I have
that he won
hats
one.
too. We can run out and get my cowboy hats if we need to
Well,
have
yeah,
them
so
on.
he can blend in.
Here.
He could do cosplay at the Western convention.
So can I. But
Yeah, but if I'm gonna wear Miss Ebony's hat, I gotta get it fixed.
I have spares for
Yeah.
you.
Why wouldn't you just wear the hat you wore today?
I didn't wear a hat today.
You wore a black hat.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday? Yeah, it's all been big blur. It's all one big
Attention
blur.
to
of rodeo.
details vitally important.
And the black hat that I wore yesterday was Miss Ebony's hat that I inherited.
That was. I thought hers was a brown denim
That's
or I
both.
mean leather one.
That's both.
Oh, okay.
I got the brown
Shallow
one.
breathing.
Yes, I
Shallow
know.
breathing.
I didn't realize you got two hats from her.
I got two hats when after Miss Ebony passed away, and
Who knew?
The jaws
Did you
apparently.
realize? Did you realize that they have different faces?
Oh no, I did
I didn't
not.
realize they were faces.
They're faces in the trees because they're angry, like in Wizard of Oz.
oh, okay.
And this
So
one's
there's
more wickedy
facing-
looking.
Yes,
Yeah,
yours
that's
is.
what. Yeah,
Mine is like Old Man in the Sea.
that's more like an int.
Yeah, yeah. Mine doesn't look really angry. Mine looks stern. Yours looks creepy.
Yours looked like a curmudgeon.
Yeah, mine
Yeah, mine
has
is stern.
Yeah.
mine
Mine
has
is
issues.
firm but fair. Mine is firm but fair. Yours just ate children.
Yeah.
And is
So-
happy about
And
it.
So-
is happy about it. Gleeful even.
Because
That's a good
does yours
treat.
have an apple on it? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just
Bite
the
out of
face.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, shiny things.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
And I want you to know how hard it is for me not to be distracted by my because I had to
By
trim
your
the
hands?
I trimmed the bougainvillea today, and as
Oh,
you can
God.
see,
Yeah.
I look like I have
Those
some
are
sort of
vicious
horrible
jungle
skin
You
condition.
do. You have bougainvillea skin.
Yeah, everyone like grows them out here because
Yeah, I
oh
know,
look
we
they're
do
beautiful,
that.
and
We
they
do
tell
what we're up to.
they're pretty, and they even it's the
Thorns
leaves,
like
and no one
this.
mentions the flipping thorns and the
Oh,
fact that
I-
you have to trim it all the way back like almost every
Yeah,
year.
no, it's like those. I think they're used as a fence. Okay,
Most
no,
of the
no
time,
neighbors
yeah.
are coming over through your bougainvillea. Is all I can say.
Yeah, no one.
So-
Yeah, I've never heard a warning about bougainvillea. I mean, I've raised one, so I know.
Yeah,
But
thorns like this. Yeah,
yeah, so
But they're pretty.
thorns like this. Anyway, we're gonna ignore him for the pretty comment right there. Yeah.
I'm
It's
going.
pretty. Thank you. Yeah. Would you like some cider now? I'll go get you an angry bottle.
No, trust me. Like I said, I've been at rodeo yesterday and today. If I have any bit of alcohol, I
You
am
don't
going
even
to
smell
be.
like horse.
I know. Do I smell like dirt at least?
No.
I did change my shirt.
I was gonna say you smell April fresh. So.
So thank you, Genie, and thank you to Steve the Hubs for letting us come over on a
And-
Sunday night.
and getting me alcohol.
Well, you always have alcohol when you go there.
Yeah, but he's the one who got it for me, the second one.
Oh, the Hubs.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So thank you. And so
And I think you see his hand or arm. Do you see anything of him?
I'm not sure you see even his arm.
Okay.
I think the alcohol just kind of. I think I reach over and suddenly I have alcohol.
Or
and
new
scream.
alcohol.
Yeah, but you'll see next week part 2 of the interview, and I already apologize ahead of time for part 2 of the interview because the battery ran out and everything gets all switched around. So it's good content. Shaky camera. What you gonna do? Well, charge the battery. Apparently.
Yeah, always charge the battery. Whenever you do something like this, you just put the battery in.
I know. I should get in the habit of doing it. I thought
You don't
the
even
battery
do
was
that to your own
charged.
camera, your
I
own
on-
cell phone. Your cell phone, you let it die all the time.
My cell phone just dies all the time. I had
Because
it on
you-
charge. I had it charging at work all day yesterday. and it's still
through the computer or through the
through the computer, but
it doesn't
still...
charge right. It doesn't charge properly through the computer.
Oh.
That's why you have to use an electrical source.
Oh.
That's why it keeps on dying, because it's not a full charge.
Oh. It says it's a full charge.
It's not.
Oh. Well, that's something to learn.
Didn't you know that?
I did
That's
not
all
know
over
that.
the interwebs. It's a false sense of security.
Oh. Well, that's good to know after the fact.
That's why, I charge mine every night.
Okay.
I never run out unless I'm somewhere like the rodeo where I'm on the damn phone all the time because I'm bored.
Oh, okay. Oh! It just dawned on me. You also did something else this week. You went to Joshua Tree.
I always go to Joshua Tree. Every Wednesday.
Yes, but this time you got a tour.
Oh, I took a tour. I took the camera in, got permission from all the volunteers, and took a tour of the food room because I didn't want to go through the hassle of asking permission for all 75 people.
Yeah.
So we only have the food room, and so here's the food room. Not the best sound quality, but you guys get the idea.
The idea.
And Peter Rodriguez, the vice chairman, is is the voice that you hear.
Hi, this is Joshua Tree Feeding Program, and when our clients comes in, the first section they do once they sign in, they'll come in here, they'll get sign in for TFAB if they're allowed to get the government funding. After that, they will go into the meat section, and they'll pick up one meat for the day, their canned goods, then they'll go to the fruit and vegetables.
From the bottom, anybody who's helping him over here, we're going to try to pull from the bottom. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to divide Chanel.
Yeah. Every single day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the fruit and vegetables, they'll be able to get meat, eggs, and juice, and milk, if we have. And the last will be the bread.
He goes out every day for lunch, for his job, and he goes out every single dinner, practically. I'm like, oh, you gotta break that habit. They don't make Wooooo. Does that pick up sound?
This is the last, yeah. Here they'll get the dry goods, the breads.
You want to get me? I'm not afraid anymore.
All right. And then this, a real quick overview, is the food room for Joshua Tree. Huh?
And so, I love hitting play just right after I say something that causes him to make the confused look.
I know, he goes, so we're at the end now and we're going to talk about musicals? And I'm like, musicals?
Musicals!
Musicals.
Musicals.
What is this musicals that we're talking about?
Hey, did you hear that they're talking about turning Pushing Daisies into a musical?
Oh yeah, that was on Playbill.
Yeah.
You got it on Broadway.
Something or other.
Broadway something.
Actually, I got it from someone who posted it online, and I went, "Oh, look at that!" And I followed the story.
Yeah, I don't trust that. I don't trust that site. I only wait till I see it on Playbill.com.
Did they show it on Playbill.com?
Not only did they show it on Playbill.com, they also had Kristen Chenoweth singing a song from it.
Really? It's that far along?
Well, at least one song.
Wow, I didn't even think it was that far. I thought it was still in talks, kind of like how they thought about making a movie or whatever.
I didn't think they were making a movie. I thought they were supposed to make a comic out of it.
They were supposed to make it, if I recall correctly, first, right when it was canceled, it was like, well, maybe we'll make a movie. And then it's, oh, we'll make a comic book. And then now it's, oh, we'll make a musical. I didn't know it was, no, we're going to make a musical. And centered around Kristen Chenoweth's character, which is odd because her character was not the central character of the show.
No. But, hello, you got Kristen Chenoweth. I'm going to center everything around. They wrote Sally in the revival of How You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown for her. Or because of her, whichever one of the way.
Okay.
Because Sally is not in the original.
Well, yeah. But
and she won an Oscar for it. I mean, she won a Tony.
Wow, she's so talented.
She won a Tony.
She won an Oscar for her Broadway performance.
Yeah, Tony.
But Are they going to have the other characters?
It's still in development.
The Pie Man has to be there.
The Pie Man has to be there. He's a central character, but you
Or
never
else
know.
what daisies are being pushed?
The song that she sang actually came from this series. Because every so often she would sing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that, so we don't know if that song is going to be in the music, is part of the musical, but she sang a song that she sang in the series.
Okay. No, see, I did not see that.
Well, because you used another source.
Right. I did. Did you hear about the off-Broadway musical production of Heathers?
Yes.
And I got to see a little clip of the rehearsal for one of the songs.
Oh.
Candy Shop. It was cute. It actually was really catchy. Even in just a little, like, maybe 10-second clip, it was a catchy tune.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there something weird happening with my hat?
No.
Oh, okay. You just looked up that way, and I was like, well, what? So
shadow.
Oh, okay. But, and I heard, wow. You normally only hear about these things on sitcoms happening. So, there were people who kind of were like going, oh my god, why would they do that? But the roommate who dare not mention his name actually even kind of suggested, well, hey, what about Legally Blonde the musical? And that actually worked out really well.
Yeah, it lasted a couple of years.
Yeah. It was
2.5
successful.
years, yeah.
It had a successful show on MTV that was based on it. They aired it on the show on MTV because they looked for the new L on MTV. And I still can't believe that MTV has not released a DVD of that performance.
Probably because they don't have the rights.
You'd think that they would get the rights.
You would think,
because
but this is the first time they ever aired a musical. They don't know the intricacies. Because not only you have to get the rights from the performers, you also have to get the rights from the creators. That's a lot of people to sign paper.
It is.
It's MTV.
Yeah. But it's a shame because that was kind of around the same time as the Broadway implosion. Because they had just gotten the new L, and I thought it was still doing actually rather well, but it's just Broadway kind of imploded upon itself at that moment.
Then all of a sudden, 8 shows closed in 2 months.
Yeah, and it was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
that was because there was so many new shows coming in that there's like, if you were kind of iffy on your capacities and numbers, everybody was chopped because they had all these new shows coming.
Okay.
And they needed the theaters.
Okay.
Kind of like that's what I firmly believe that's probably what happened to Spider-Man. That the fact that it was too expensive because
did it ever run a profit?
It never ran a profit, but it was doing decent. And then all of a sudden they announced they were closing because King Kong, the musical, that was a huge hit in Australia that closed just in Australia and is coming to that theater.
Wow. King Kong.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing's sacred anymore. Everything's going to be turned into a musical or be a reboot.
Or be a reboot?
Yeah, on movies.
Oh,
look how many reboots there are going on now.
Don't even get us started. The Fantastic Four one is like all abuzz upon the interwebs right now. They've released the casting for the new Fantastic Four movie, and people were already up in arms when they had kind of heard that maybe Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, was going to be played by an African American actor. That's the least objectionable part of their casting at this moment. Okay, I didn't really have problems with it except for the fact that that made it to where you kind of really needed to make a sister one, and then you're you're changing the ethnicity of 2 of the main characters, and you're just asking for people to have issues with that. If you're going to change the ethnicity of any of them, you would be better off changing the ethnicity of, say, Reed Richards, who doesn't have a family member attached to him, so you're only changing his ethnicity.
Yeah.
And there's actually an actor who I think would be excellent for him. I don't think there's a better actor to play Reed Richards other than, can't remember his name. He played Martian Manhunter on Smallville. And he's a great actor, and he would be perfect for Reed Richards.
But he's not.
But he's not. They got these 3 people who, like, really young cast, a apparently Johnny and Susan are not brother and sister, or not full brother and sister, because she's not African American, and I mean, I guess that can happen, but that takes a lot more explanation than what they want to do in a movie that's not about explaining that. So, oh yeah, it's a really ugly cast, to be totally honest.
So I didn't really mind it. I'm the type that, you know, let me see it and then I'll judge. I don't want to judge prior.
And I'm willing to kind of hold off. It's just the guy that they have playing Reed Richards just doesn't look old enough to be a Reed Richards. The Sue Storm actually looks old enough to be maybe Angelica Houston's eldest daughter. So she looks too old to play Susan. The guy who's playing Ben Grimm, it doesn't really matter because he's going to be replaced by CGI anyway, so or a big costume. So that doesn't matter. But yeah, suddenly no one is talking about Johnny anymore. Everyone's talking about the rest of the cast as far as how that went. They also released the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, which left me kind of meh. I know a lot of people are really excited about it.
Yeah, the interwebs went crazy about that.
Yeah.
They went crazy yesterday about that.
I'm just meh about Guardians of the Galaxy in general. I still don't understand why that's the property that they've decided to make a movie out of, except for they're going to probably tie it into the Avengers storyline for the third Avengers movie.
Probably, because, you know, they do intertwine.
Right, and they're probably going to introduce Thanos or something like that in this, and they're going to mesh him into the third Avengers movie.
I thought Thanos wasn't going to be in the sequel.
Because
he showed up at the end.
He did, but it's supposed to be Ultron in the sequel because they're going to introduce the character Vision.
Okay.
Which is an android, and Ultron's an android.
Yeah, I know Ultron's an android.
And a lot of people were thinking that's a step back. You went from a god to an android, but those people really haven't paid attention to how dangerous Ultron is in the comic books. I would put really good money against Loki if Ultron was fighting him. Ultron's very devious and much more bloodthirsty than Loki ever has been.
Yeah, Loki was conniving.
Yeah, Ultron's just out for the destruction of all living things, except for his creator, who he views as his father.
Oh yeah, most.
Yeah, but that's also part of the reason why in Ant-Man they have to introduce Janet Van Dyne in a way, just because he also views her as his mother, even though she had nothing to do with his creation. Mm-hmm. But he has this weird Oedipal romance mother complex thing with her. Because he views her as a mother, but he also like creates a mate for himself using her as the template.
Kind of weird.
Very
kind of creepy.
Very Oedipal. So
let's go with the questions.
Yeah, we got questions because it's the 50th anniversary. We've been around for a long time.
This is not Doctor Who.
It's the 50th episode. Yay! And now, I would like to start off with a question that actually we got from Tina on the Blog Goddess. When we were on her show, she had asked us about how we got started with this. And I realized that I didn't really give her the correct answer.
Yeah, you did.
Well, because actually the start of More Geek Than Gay goes back to In Touch magazine.
Didn't you say that?
No.
Did you say that on ours?
I didn't. I said that after we got off the air with her, and I went, oh, I should have said this. Because there's actually a chunk that's missing. You were working at In Touch with Gina Reed.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
And
In Touch News Magazine.
In Touch News Magazine.
I miss that magazine.
I do too. It's still on hiatus. I wish I could say the word hiatus without a little bit of a bittersweet giggle at the end. But gay, lesbian, transgender, bi news magazine, right?
Yeah, legitimate news, not just a bar rag.
Yes. Ooh, look at that. There's a little bit of an opinion right there in that statement.
Well, because I got I had somebody tell me a perfect thing about In Touch when it was out. He told me he gets all the rags here in Arizona, and as he puts it, I just flip through them and look at the pretty pictures. He goes, with you, I take it to the bathroom and read.
Oh, hey.
So hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
if you read it and then if you take it to the bathroom, then you're stuck really reading it.
But while you were working there, basically I started writing a monthly article.
Yeah, because it was a monthly magazine.
Called More Geek Than Gay,
which you and the owners Gina and Tracy at the time at my 40th birthday. That's where you guys came up with that concept.
Right. And the idea was to basically tackle geek and nerd culture things, but also the gay aspect of it. So it was much more directly gay than this podcast is. You were pretty much always assured that I was going to include how it ties into the bacon,
Gayness.
lettuce, tomato community. I never can remember. The GBTLMY. The LGBT. LGBTAAQ. I think there's another letter in there.
I just say LGBT.
Yeah.
Or LGBT LMNOP.
There's a quilt. What is it? Quilt bag? I think it's quilt bag is what I heard every time. I'm like, wait, that's good. But it was gonna definitely, like, I did one about movies and where the GLBT fit in there with your vampires that'll go to bed with anyone, lesbian witches, and then transvestite killers.
Mm-hmm. And then you had your own geek awards.
I did my own Geek Awards, which has only occurred once now. The inaugural was also at that moment the only. See, I'm glad. This is why you don't say first annual. Okay, you say inaugural because it's not annual until it happens again. Okay, that was the inaugural, and we will eventually go and revisit that. I guess it was around Pride when that happened, wasn't it?
No, it was around the Oscars.
Was it around the Oscars? Oh, well, that's not happening anytime soon. I mean, that's happening anytime soon. The next awards isn't. Because
the Oscars are next Sunday.
Yeah. I'm
not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Yeah, we're not going to get that cranked out fast enough.
What's this wee stuff?
Well, you're here now. Now you would have to, like, contribute your thoughts to the awards.
Well, then maybe you should have it in Pride Month.
See, I thought it was closer to Pride.
No.
Huh. Okay. So, but when the magazine went on hiatus, and even before that, I had actually been thinking about a podcast because I had been listening to Patrick of Screamqueenz and Aisha Tyler's Girl on Guy too. But mainly Patrick of Screamqueenz is the one that made me think, oh, a podcast might be a good idea. Started listening to Scott on Sedersphere too. But when the magazine went on hiatus, that's when I started going, you know what, to heck with this, I'm going to seriously start trying to put this out as a podcast. And to heck with the idea of actually a theme where I have to always stick with it being LGBT, it's going to be more my voice. Yeah, more my voice, more geek than gay. So if I get to something that's LGBT, that's great. If I don't, well, what you gonna do? I'm a big geek. So, and that's really where it came from. And then eventually I kind of realized that I do better when I play off of someone. I needed someone to bounce ideas off of. I needed someone to roll their eyes as I just went a little too much into my geekdom. And that's where you and Karen came in, and then Karen got busy, and you're still here.
Well, Karen got busy, and we just...
And well, when we both moved around the same time, so that's... And we just haven't brought Karen back in yet. So, then that's kind of where it came from. That's a more complete answer.
Yes. So we're at the 2-hour mark because of this complete answer.
Hey! Now... Questions. more questions. We have a new listener viewer person. Or at least new as far as like officially making her presence known.
Yes.
So
She could have been watching slash listening since DarkCon because we met her at DarkCon, right?
We did.
Yes.
We could have listened. She could have been listening since before then, actually, and just lurking in the background,
Oh.
like all those Australians.
So like a lurker.
Yeah, those Australians. I love them, but they're lurking back there.
What is it with you and Australians?
I don't know what
have
they're doing
such
back
an
there.
anti-Australian thing.
I am not anti-Australian.
If you
I love
listen
my
to the last
Australians.
podcast, you would see on how anti-Australian
I
you
love
are.
my Australians.
You are so anti.
I love
Oh
them.
my
I'm
gosh.
afraid of their spiders, but I love my Australians.
No, but, and you criticize the way they talk.
Yeah.
Anti.
That's
Anti.
Criticize. I just
the question from
Miss Heather New is, can you both describe the moment when you knew that you were a geek? What book, show, movie, etc. opened the door for you? I seriously can't. I've always... I just always have been. I mean, comic books I think were my gateway drug into, even though I read sci-fi and watched Star Trek and stuff like that when I was a kid, I think comic books was really where I got my foothold in, and then from there spread out. And comic books is still the center of my geekdom, my nerddom. But I can't think of that moment when I just really realized it, per se, where it reared its ugly head, shall we say.
and say I'm a geek.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where I just kind of always knew I was.
See, with me, growing up, it started off with Star Wars. So, me and my family were huge Star Wars fans, so we were standing in the line that went around the building of the Cine Capri here in Phoenix, which was a single theater movie theater in one of those big movie palaces kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the line would snake around, and we stood in line at that place for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I would say it started with Star Wars, but then when I got old enough, my parents, both my mother and my father, are avid comic book readers.
Oh, your mother too?
Yes.
I didn't know your mom.
Well, who do you think was borrowing the comics? Remember how I was loaning them some of the...
I thought those were going to, like, Sergio or something.
No.
No.
No, my mom would read them, and then she would give it to Sergio to read.
Oh, see, I thought your mom was reading all the
She is reading those as well.
Yeah.
I got that from
looking
her.
for the highlighted dirty parts.
Yeah, I got that.
Ladies chatterly
the way she reads is the way I read. Is like we read a novel and then we'll read a comic and go back and forth like that.
Oh, okay.
My dad is all about comics, but anyways, but because of them, hey, you're gonna roll your eyes. I started off with Archie and Jughead.
Hey,
10,
classic.
12, yeah. Betty and Veronica and the whole crew there. And then I did not realize I was a geek, or fully realize it. I was a geek until high school.
When you were a band nerd?
No, I was a band geek.
Yeah, band geek. Yeah.
And that's when I basically, because of band, is when I'm like, okay, I'm a geek.
Yeah, I was a drama fag.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you gonna do? But
so that's what I would say. And then I've always read comics off and on throughout, basically since I was 10. Even now, with you being such a big comic person, I'm off and on still.
Yeah.
But then I became a show tune queen. What else did I have and going off of that one thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago, but the difference between a nerd and a geek.
Oh.
I'm more of a geek because I have a wide range of interest.
But you kind of specialize in some things, but you're actually much more socially well balanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really an odd nerd because I am not bashful. I am somewhat outgoing if the situation arises. because like you take me to a party, I'm probably gonna sit on the couch.
No, the one you did on Saturday, you were.
Well, because I kept it to a small group. Yeah, because I kept it to a group of
Well, it
like
wasn't
3
a
or
big
4
party.
people we could talk to.
Yeah, there wasn't a big party anyways. It was more of a social gathering than a party.
Yeah, but other than that, like, you know, you can put, I'm fine on a microphone. I don't mind hear podcast, look at this. But, which is not a norm for my nerdy brethren.
Yeah.
And I can always tell when I'm listening to a podcast that is by my nerdy brethren, because not a lot of highs and lows in their vocal qualities. It's like
all monotone.
Pretty monotone. You can tell they're reading from a script in their notes. It is like, oh, I love you. There's one that I listen to where he describes the comic book that he just, a Golden Age Superman or Silver Age Superman comic book that he read, and I'm like going, all right. But yeah, so that's kind of the answer there. I hope that answers the question, Heather. And now I think that kind of runs us for the questions at this moment.
Yeah, that's all that runs us for the questions. That's all that runs us.
We did get some love from Stewie Monster.
Oh, yay, Stewie Monster.
And Tina Marie Williams from Blog Goddess. She gave us some love. She's still threatening to blog bomb us, or to pod bomb us.
Yeah, she's still, we have to get her. I want to get her, I want to get Marcy and Jordan.
We're going to get Marcy when she's able to make that announcement. That other announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big announcement. The second big announcement, because the first big announcement is her big old, is that big old contest that's going on right now.
Right.
20 authors, 20 books.
Yeah.
That's the grand prize.
But we're going to get her also for the other one.
Yeah.
And
hey, man, maybe I might be able to get her next month.
Do you think it'll be ready then?
No.
Oh, okay.
But we're all going down to Tucson Festival of Books together.
Oh yeah, you could do a little there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also got a little bit of love from Patrick of Screamqueenz. On his podcast, he made sure to let everybody know about us and our podcast, and that we were coming up on our 50th episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very sweet of him.
That's nice.
And I want people to kind of catch on to, I want more people to listen to Patrick. That's really what it is. It's a great podcast, even if you're not into horror movies. Patrick truly is the inspiration for me, really, as far as this podcast goes. The tone, format. The feel, well, more the female. The female. More the feel.
I am not doing drag. We need to get Karen back if you want a female.
Oh, we got all these tiaras. And none of them belong to Patrick. Ha 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 ha.
I've got tiaras, I've got crowns. Oh, speaking of that, real quick. My 10-year-old niece, Araya. Hi, Araya.
Hi, Araya.
She is, because this month is Arizona's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to one of those advanced schools where they had to pick a famous person from Arizona to emulate. They had to do a presentation, they had to write about them, and then they have to, while they're doing the presentation, they get to dress up as this person. She had to pick 5 famous women from Arizona, and I'm happy to say that she got Sandra Day O'Connor, who is, as everybody knows, the first ever woman, female Supreme Court judge. So, she's got...
No Irma Bombeck. I'm sad about that.
Well, Irma's not from here.
Irma's from here.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, she's dead now.
Well, of course.
She was from here.
Yeah.
Now she's
ether.
I
forgot that Irma's from here.
Yes.
But so she has that she's got the shoes, and she's got a gown that she's gonna wear. Her I think Jessica said that it was like a graduation gown.
Okay.
That they were going to go. But from her Uncle Joseph, she got a gray wig, 2 different sets of pearl necklaces, and a set of
Sorry,
don't go there.
Sorry, too late. I just did. Sorry.
And then some jewelry that all came from a drag queen, her uncle who's a drag queen. So and she just loves it and she wants to know if she could keep it.
You know, we've now made this into a horrible segue into a clip of for Patrick Screamqueenz.
Well, I didn't know you were doing that for Patrick of Screamqueenz.
But doesn't matter. Hey, enjoy this little clip of
See, if you would tell me these things, I would not have gone on something else.
It's part of the charm.
Hello, my name's Patrick, and I'm a Scream Queen. I'm a Scream Queen, and so are you! Hello again, Screamers, and welcome back to another episode of Screamqueenz, the podcast where horror gets bent. Everywhere I go, I've complained about it before, but it's just confirming my previous suspicions. I cause vaginas to explode. I go all Kermit the Frog like that. It's a thing that I do. When you're in a bad situation, always look whose fault it is. It's probably just one bitch's fault. Oh, Edward, honey, I just want to say I love you very much. We all love you very, very much, but what the fuck was that? Faye Ray. Janet Lee. Adrian King. Heather Langenkamp. Amy Steele. That weatherman who saw the cockroach. Oh my god! Jamie Lee Curtis. And you. Come on. You know you wanna.
Wilson.
Yeah, because you got it.
Okay, so time to wrap it up. 50th episode. You want to make sure to be here next week for the second half of the interview with Gini Koch.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make sure to be here next week because we'll be here next week. Yay! We love you all. Thank you all for your support and your comments and your questions. And make sure to tell all your friends because this is our year for growth. That is my goal for the year. Is we're going to grow and grow and grow like a fungus upon the interwebs.
There's a good idea.
People like funguses.
You don't?
They put mushrooms in.
You don't like mushrooms at all.
I actually, well, but I love black fungus that you get in like the Asian markets. I love that. That's weird stuff. I don't know why I love it, but it's great.
So,
make sure to catch us on YouTube, Libsyn, iTunes, rate us, ask comments. Ask comments?
Ask comments. Yes, ask comments.
We could always do it like they do on The Nerdist, where it's a comment, it's a question, it's a quement. That's what they call them.
Okay.
It's a quement.
Yeah, okay.
And don't forget about Joshua Tree Feeding Program. They're an organization that help people with HIV and AIDS get food. They have a pets food program as well, so that people don't have to choose between feeding themselves or feeding their pet. And their website is
jtfp.org.
Yep. All volunteer organization, so any assistance you can offer, they'll be more than happy to give. My tongue, my mouth,
he's done talking. Believe it or not, he's actually done talking because he can't even speak.
So until next week.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
You were trying to think of a slogan or something to catchphrase. Is right there. You can't think fast enough.
It's not hard to see that I'm not cool. Not too many friends when I was in school, so I sat all alone and I learned how to rap, and I became a smart aleck, started talking crap. Never really concerned with popularity because I was in the basement rolling 20D, throwing down dagger damage with my trusty four-sider. I wrote fanfics and called myself a writer. The only one who still thinks I'm awesome, only adults still yelling awesome possum. A couple of my friends have owned a ferret. You might have muscles, but I'm not scared yet. You might have ladies, okay, I'll concede that I'd give up Coca-Cola if I could get a lady. I don't have low self-esteem, it's only your words, so stand up and be proud if your ass is a nerd. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I never listened to what my gym teacher said, so instead I play WoW with my level 20 undead. I doodle all day and I can't concentrate, so much so that my fat ass almost didn't graduate. For clarification, I'm a nerd, not a geek. Geeks get good grades, I get in trouble when I speak. Geeks get excited about a science field trip. Nerds don't really care because my people skip. We act superior, but we still watch cartoons, laughing our asses off, yelling out his rules. With my pack of friends, Saturday is nerd night. Playing GURPS so long, I challenge Hank to a knife fight. Playing tabletop games and CCGs, and then at one we take a break and head for Mickey D's. Enjoying pirated movies and stolen CDs. Internet celebrity homes, I do what I please. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I step on the dance floor but I won't move. All I do is bob my head when I'm feeling the groove. Calculator in my pocket and there's one on my wrist. I got the sexy nerd flavor that you can't resist. Man, don't forget, I got this magic ring that does +5 fire damage, that's some powerful bling. Out nerd me, don't try, I'll tell you why. Cause I can quote every single line for Family Guy. I got all this caffeine coursing through my veins. Catch me on eBay, bidding on Gene Roddenberry's brains. I keep telling people I'm not that Numa kid, but I'm just pissed because he did it before I did. Mixing up white Russians cause I wanna be the dude. I'm not a shut-in, I'm just misunderstood. Pixelated nudes, it got me feeling good. I'm a nerd mofo, rude, brash, and crude. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am. I'm a nerd, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a nerd, I roleplay and I brag about it. I'm a nerd, on the net till 5 a.m. I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd, that's who I am.
Okay, so that was Nerd by Beefy, closing out our show. We've said pretty much everything we got to say during the episode. Make sure to check us next week. We're changing the times to Thursdays. That's what I'm aiming for now instead of Tuesdays. So be back next Thursday, and we look forward to hearing from you. Keep sharing the love. Bye.